when she left, I know she had her last, she said she had, I said, well, you got enough money to pay for the hotel? She said, yeah, I'm going to use my savings. Well, okay. It's just the last little bit of savings. And every time we go, it's anywhere between $100 and $1,700, something like that, a week. It's okay. And so when she got back, I think it was like the week before Thanksgiving or something like that, I said, okay, we got to go back. They said, you have 6 weeks to go back for your PAT scan and to determine whether or not if the cancer is gone or if you need further treatment or whatever. I said, well, do you have the money for that? She said, no. And I'm not worried about it. It's none of my business. That's God's business. I said, yeah, I know that, but have you talked to the lady about getting the grants? Like, I'm out of money. Do you know? She said, no, that is not none of my business. How I'm going to pay for the hotel and what I got to do to pay for my bills, it is none of my business. That's God's business. That's okay. So that was in November. So here it is time for us to go on Christmas Day. I called her last week. I said, do you have monies for the hotel? Or maybe somebody done blessed her or something. I don't know. She says, no. That's okay. I finally started getting my Social Security in February. Every month I've gotten it, I spend it on accommodations, Ubers, food, or whatever I need to do for her. So I never really got to really enjoy it. So I had a little attitude, a little bit, because I'm thinking, well, you knew back in November you didn't have the money. We need to start calling people and ask them for help because I don't have any more. And I said, what about the grants? The young lady told us about the grants. And she's well, I sent them what they told me to send them. I got on the phone, I called her, and she says, I just missing one little item, which is a letter from the doctor for diagnosis. And then I can go ahead and start following through and sending out information for them. And one young lady said, if you send the information in, if you go and stay in the hotel the week before Thanksgiving, we may not have the paperwork set up that week, but we can reimburse you. So my thought was, well, let me go ahead and get this in and maybe we have the money by Christmas. It didn't happen. I called and I have not cried. I have not been upset about anything. But I called the main doctor that we've been seeing since we first started. And I said, listen, I need for you to write me a letter saying the date that Helen was diagnosed and the treatment she's receiving. Every time I email him, he'll send me the information immediately. He said to me, I said, I need to send it to the young lady that's going to be able to help us get accommodations for housing and maybe some Uber rides and stuff. He said to me, he called me. I said, hey, doctor. He says, hey, Krista, how are you? And I told him what he said, I got your email because he normally responds immediately. He said, I don't think it'd be a wise thing for me to do that. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I did the radiation for her, and I think it'd be best that the doctors treating her for chemo write the letter. Well, first of all, this doctor that's doing the chemo, the oncologist, he's got a $140 million project that he's doing that can cure cancer for people that's, he said, one foot in the grave and the other banana peel, how people have been cured. He's one of the most famous physicians that exist. And every time we've called him, when we leave, we can't get him. But when we're there, he's wonderful. He only goes into the office that Heaven goes to once a week. It's on Thursday. And he's really, really nice. I mean, he'll call me on the phone, talk or whatever, but since she started treatment, it's just, if it's not a Thursday, we can't hardly get him. So I'm thinking, if I can't get him when Heaven's having difficulties, You didn't think I'm going to get him on the phone for him to write a letter for a grant? He said, Crystal, I think that would be best. Just try that. Try that and get back to me. And I'm thinking, try that. I'm trying to get the money so I can go up there the next couple of weeks. I need the letter done, right? And for the first time, I just felt tears running out of my eyes. I started crying. Y'all don't be crying. I felt that, first of all, I don't call anybody and ask them anything unless I need it. Second of all, I need it. And you know I don't bug you. And you telling me to go call somebody else. You're the only person I can depend on. When I was working for the Department of Social Service, they said you need to always have a doctor or therapist in your back pocket, somebody you can depend on. A lawyer, a judge, or somebody. And that's the only person I had. I don't know anybody in New York and New Jersey. And I started crying. Yeah. Okay, I had the money for the hotel. Happens I can do one day. But you still have to eat. You still have Ubers, rides. And the last time I was up there, I left, it was 85 degrees. And I got there, it was like 30, and my body just went in shock. It was just so cold. It was terribly cold. And then when we would catch we walked to the bus from the hotel, and then we caught the bus to the Port Authority, which is a bus station. Then we catch the subway to wherever, park, wherever. And my body was going through so many changes. Sometimes the subways was hot, sometimes it was cold. While we're in New York, I got a duck down coat for the winter time, so my body was warm. I got several toboggans. Some of them have the fur on the inside of them. But I'm going through menopause, so sometimes I would start breaking out in sweat. So up on all this sweaters and stuff, I would start sweating. And then my head would be soaking wet. I take the toboggan off, fur in the toboggan, my head was swimming in, I'm soaking wet. So my body just went through too many temperatures back to back. And I just got sick. I can't say I had a cold. I just got sick. I was tired. So this time I'm thinking, listen, I'm already at my wit's end. I just need you guys to help me just do this. And he said, well, just let me know if it doesn't work out for you. I went and looked at my email, and there was another letter he had written me in September for, I think it was Susan Coleman or something. And it said that the information that I needed, so I just took that letter and mailed it. She said, oh, that letter, which I didn't need him. And she said, oh, that letter's fine because you started doing the information in August, so this was way in September. This is perfect. I said, great. And so I was talking to my daughter, Heaven. And she said, Mama, set up the flights, whatever you said. I set the flights up, and I'm thinking, I don't want to fly to North Carolina in the cold. It was 26, whatever, it's been cold. And then leave North Carolina, then fly to New York and cold. Plus, I still have to go pick up Mama. I still have to put in shoes and do a nail. I still do stuff for Mama, right? I don't want to get sick. I'm supposed to be doing a recording. And so I just didn't want to go to New York. So I got tickets, I think, from Fort Lauderdale and Heavens from Charlotte to Atlanta. And we were going to meet in Atlanta, get on the same flight, and then fly to New York. She calls me last week and said,